SimTheWorld here. We are back in our Farming Simulator 19 Alpine expansion playthrough. Got our cattle farm. This is the next day. It is day 5 of midsummer. Day 5 of the summer. I think it's day 1. Let's take a look. We're on the first day of midsummer. So, terrible movie. Spooked the ever-living hell out of me. But enough about that. We are taking care of the cattle. And I want to... One of the reasons I tuned back in, I know I mentioned we were going to be going a little quicker pace, not doing a video every day. So of course this first year, I want to do a little more in depth, just so we know exactly what I'm doing, even when I'm not around. So now one of the new things is we ran out of food. That plethora, that 30,000 that was in there before we switched over to the seasons mod, that has ran out. So every day I'm going to need to top off this food. So it's just a matter of bringing this over. I haven't found a great place to put this yet. Of course, we can only hold the max of the 35,000 liters. So it is a little annoying. We just have this bucket here. But I'm not sure of a better place to put it. If you guys have any ideas, there's a better mod to use, if there is a better tool that could kind of just dump that quickly, or if it could shoot it across, kind of like the sprayer on the straw pellets, that'd be fantastic. Of course, we are trying to get the happiness of these cattle all the way to max. That way they produce for us the full amount of milk. So let's take a look here. As I did last time, we had moved the milk over, so overnight we got 2,000 liters. It seems like quite a bit of milk coming out of these cows. Pretty interesting. We do have a lot of cows though. Maybe this is just the magic farm. I almost wonder too if the cows in this barn aren't all like if this barn isn't working as if seasons was not enabled. As I explained in the last episode, these cows in seasons, cows don't start producing milk until after they've had their first calf, and it goes in cycles. In the base game, that is not an issue. Cows just produce milk, they produce offspring, and it's unrelated. I know I've tested some other dairy farms, some other barns, and I do notice that it does take some time for the cows to start producing milk, so could be an issue with us switching mid-save with the seasons mod. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's going to help us move a little bit quicker, though of course your results may not be the same as mine. I did want to make mention though real quick. Take a look at my map. So we did the contract on field 24. Haven't collected it. No, I did collect it. I did collect that. But what I was able to do finish right before midnight was finishing the contract on baling the silage bales for field 1. So, regardless of what you might think, if I made the wrong decision, spending all of our money on the... You know what? Wait a second. So I checked the last episode, and it did appear that we started off with $15,000 when we left the store. The contract we took was for $17,000, but of course field 24 isn't showing up. Oh, look at that, 100% transported for field 1. I'm going to go collect those last bales that are remaining on the field. Those, of course, are bales we get to keep. As you can see, though, I did end up giving that other farmer a call, hunting down that other 17,000 that he owed us. Because obviously the contract for field 24 was not on our menu to collect on. Which is pretty strange. Though I guess we did have an issue. I know earlier on when we first enabled seasons, there were these baling contracts that just seemed to have disappeared out of thin air. I'll cut across my own field. We need to get to the other side where field 1 is. So I'm not sure if it's just an issue with this map, if it's a bug where when you complete the collecting, the baling contracts, they kind of just vanish. Once I get these extra bales in my wagon, we will collect that 11,000 from field 1, and that should wrap up our morning, at least with the baling contracts. I do have a little bit more planned for this morning, however, we need to get these collected. It was good to finish this field. I only need to drop off 24 bales. That leaves what, 2, 4, 6, 7 for us. Pretty nifty. You'll also notice I switched the wrapper to white. I figured since going forward I'm not going to be showing every contract we take. Just kind of a summary. I'll point out if anything interesting had happened. And of course, if it's really interesting, I'll just do an episode over it. But if we're collecting a silage bale from our fields that we own, I'm going to do them in pink. If there are any of these extra bales we get from a job, I'm going to do the wrapper in white. That way, when we go look at the silage pit, you'll be able to quickly tell, if I've been doing some baling contracts, if there's more silage than we had before, and where it came from. Now, most of these things we won't be able to do going forward. Obviously, if we're doing fertilizer contracts, I'll make mention if I've purchased a bunch more because we've been using it. That's actually how I plan on spending my afternoon in this game. We are going to drop these off. I'm then going to go buy some new cattle. Like I mentioned the previous episode, if we want to go baller, if we want to go hard, we got to get some cows in this farm. We got to get the dairy, the milk producing even faster. Let's go do it. We are on our way to get the cattle, new heads, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to take a look at the inside of the cab. I just love how detailed these models are. It looks really good in this cab. And of course, not too shabby. We did pay a good penny for it, so I'd expect only the best. Come in here and swing that trailer around. Did I hit it again? I think I hit it again. Well, this is what happens when I try to drive in first person. So we got the trailer here. So we've been doing Holsteins. These seem to be the best at producing milk. And these Holsteins seem awfully cheap compared to what we've been purchasing. I think the last time we were here, they're over $2,000. Well, isn't that interesting? See if I could sneak one more on there. We can't. This is $10,000. Another 6 heads. I'm going to get these back to the farm and in. And dare I say it, I think we're going to pick 6 more up after that. Oops, sorry guys. That was rough. Oh, I hope that doesn't affect them. They're going to be nauseous. No wonder they end up so unhappy when they get back to the farm. I would be pretty unhappy if I were riding in a trailer with my driving. So I'll meet you guys at the farm with our next batch of 6. I'm pulling right into our farm with our next batch of cows. Get these into the barn right now. Yeah, as you'll notice, we do have... There is a maximum of 50 cows in this barn, and this will put us at 28. Of course, it's going to take another year before we start seeing these cows giving birth, and I'm hoping that within that next year, we'll be able to expand to the point where we can build something new for the incoming cows. To be clear, no matter how far we go with this series, I want to keep this farm and this barn in particular. However, it doesn't mean we can't have a second. And a second one which is much, much bigger than this. So of course, since we just added 12 new heads, we need to top everything off. You take a look, we've almost doubled what we need to hold. We can hold a lot. I think before we were at like 3,000 liters that we could hold. Now it is quite a bit higher for the TMR. That's close enough. We're going... I need a bigger water truck, to be honest. Something... I know there's pumps, and I'm not sure if we should set one up over there. It seems kind of a waste since we do have the water tank right here, and it's like 6-10 feet away. Just bring this trailer over. It does kind of feel like a waste of time too. The other thing that we have to keep in mind going forward is also the straw. Ooh, this is our last bale that's in the shredder. Ooh, they need a lot of water. 13,000 liters, wow. Yeah, this is the last straw bale that we have on the farm. After this, we're going to have to start purchasing more. Which each straw bale is $650, so that's going to be a cost that we're going to incur. Of course, as we get into harvesting season, the prices should drop, and I'm also working with a few farmers to see if we can't work out a deal where I do some of the harvesting on their farm and we collect up the straw at the end. Normally, when we do the harvesting work for them, we just spread it back onto the field. But since we've been fertilizing for them, and fertilizing quite a bit, I don't think they need that back in the field. But it makes sense if they're not going to use it, why don't let us collect it? Maybe take a discount on doing the work too. Just some thoughts, nothing definitive quite yet. Let's take a look here. I am really happy here. Our farm is expanding quite nicely. We got to get some more EMR, and that's what I wanted. 28 cattle. It's going to be interesting to see if we notice a increase in production in milk overnight. I think for that day or two we saw 2,000 liters show up. Quite a bit. Though I do keep these cows pretty well pampered. Like I'm coming back here 2 or 3 times a day to top off their food and water and clean up after their messy selves. Let's see, there we go. 100% clean. They are down to 46% health. I think that's just an issue with the new cows. I think the new cows come in at 20%, and the average from what they were just drops the total. So maybe we won't see that increase right away. Yeah, we got some work ahead of us. I should go get some straw bales to have at the farm. Let's see what I can't work out. we were able to get the straw bales from the store. Again, $6.50 a pop, so I dropped almost 11,000 on it. It wasn't exactly cheap. This is 16 bales, of course. I suspect this will get us a good chunk of the way through. We probably don't need all of them, but I'd rather have them on hand than not have them at all. And it's not a bad price, $6.50 for 4,000 liters of straw. And it's not just the straw bedding we have to worry about, we also have to worry about the straw that goes into the TMR. So they're also going to be eating a mixture of this, so we might end up going through it a little quicker than expected. Seemed like the smart choice in my mind, just to make sure. And we'll use it eventually, whether or not we start getting our own supply. Nope, don't want to do that. Push the wrong button. Nope, 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 nope. No! What did I just do? Oh no, folks. I gotta fix this. Swoosh. So I was able to work out that little mess. I kept hitting Y to cancel, and I don't know why I did that. Because obviously if you hit Y a second time, it confirms the unload. As you can see, I hit it once, and hit Y again. I needed to hit X to abort. But that is not a big deal. So I've got a buttload of fertilizing contracts. I suspect that is what we're going to be doing at least the next few days. Oh, and of course I did get another storage area for the straw bales. They're close by. Something I can go grab with the front loader. We can move along our merry way. Of course, you can see all our white bales now scattered in with the pink. I think we've got a lot going here. We've got a lot going for us on this farm. We just have to continue to be smart. I have to try to save some money so we can actually buy a field. But then again, so far, we haven't needed to do any sort of crops of our own yet, so maybe it's not as big of a deal since we're doing cattle. We can focus on just doing the dairy aspect. You guys let me know what you think. If you are enjoying this series, I will be back probably at the beginning, or I'll probably come back at the end of midsummer, just as a wrap-up episode, or the beginning of the end of summer. We'll see how it goes, see what happens. But thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.